inyong lingkod, Miss Horizon Chaser. Narito po tayo ngayon sa PCRS Department dito sa Taguig na kung saan ay launching the Philippine Handlung Webbing Center ngayong araw. So, tingnan niyo kung sino mga darating. Narito si Senator Loren Legarda at ang ating mayor ng Taguig. Kaya alamin natin ang mga iba pang detalye dito sa magaganap na launching ng Philippine Handlung Webbing Center. Kaya tingnan natin at kung paano ito makatulong sa ating bansa ngayon at ang ekonomiya, kung ito nga ba ay talagang kailangan natin lalo na sa pang-araw-araw ng ating pamumuhay. Alright, so ito na po, bukas na yung Philippine Handlung Webbing Center dito sa Taguig, mismo sa PTRI Bikutan. At talagang makikita natin lahat yung mga pangangailangan ng ating mga kababayan na talagang umiiling po sila na matuto sa gagawa ng pagbubuo ng isang textile. So, alright. So, patuloy lamang po tayo na sumuporta dito sa UST PTRI sa Taguig City. Alright, para sa mas malawak pa na kaalaman at mga detalye sa naganap nitong tagumpay na Philippine Handlung Webbing Center mismo sa compound ng UST sa Bikutan, Taguig City. Sa opening remarks ni Director Julius Lianio Jr. ay napakalawak pala ng industriya ng tela sa bansa. Yung paghahabi ay 7 proseso pala ang pagdadaanan nito. At ipinakita rin yung mga bagong gamit katulad ng saluyot at bakong. Tingin sa ating kaalaman na kilala ang PTRI dahil sa paghabi. Madalas talaga binibigay yung fashion show sa ating mga kababayan na talagang hindi boring yung ating tela. Ano po? At yan ay natural pa na gawa talaga sa ating bansa. Ito ay, ayon kay Director, ay yung fiber nito ay makikita na sa Catanduanes, Laguna, sa Leyte. Kaya maging lumawak pa sana at ito ay para magpagkukunan pa ng ekonomiya ng ating bansa, lalo na sa ating mga kababayang maliliit. At nang sa ganon ay hindi na kinakailangan umangkat pa tayo ng tela sa ibang bansa. At meron pang 3 na sunod pang lugar na mapagkukunan ng mga natural na fiber katulad sa Iloilo, sa North Cotabato. At ang silk naman ay makikita rin sa Rizal at sa Talisay, Negros Occidental at sa Benguet. At may isa pang lugar na nabanggit. Yung Handlung Webbing Center ay talagang maraming makikita tayo na maaaring matutunan. Kaya hindi ito basta-basta na napunduhan ng ating gobyerno, hindi napakahalaga. Nagbigay din ng mensahe at nasumuporta nga itong ating Department of Science Technology under Secretary Leia Buendia. Kaya pakinggan ng buong detalye mamaya sa kanyang mensahe at ito ay napakahalaga din. Higit sa lahat, hindi magkakatotoo itong mga proyekto ng PTRI kapag walang budget. Pero ito yung good news dahil tumaas pala ng 30% yung kanilang pondo na ibinigay dito. At dati nga noong 2022 ay nasa 134 million lamang, ay naging 319 million na ibinigay na ng pondo ng DBM. Ayon dito kay Wilford Will L. Wong ng DBM at ni Dr. Joselito Basilio ng DBM. Dahil nga ito ay mahalaga yung ating kultura at yung mga nakaraan na dapat i-preserve. Kaya marapat lamang di umano na pondohan ito. Kaya good news sa PTRI sa pag-increase ng kanilang budget. Alright, so na-sorpresa naman ang lahat nang biglang dumating ang mismong author ng Philippine Republic Act 1942 at ng Philippine Cultural Law 11961 na walang iba kundi si Senator Loren Legarda. Nabigla ang lahat dahil sa kanyang mensahe ay talaga namang seryoso na dapat talagang palawigin pa yung itong Philippine textile sa ating bansa Pero napakahalaga sa kanya yung proyekto na nakikita at talagang nai-adapt nito sa ating mga kababayan. Panoorin at pakinggan na lamang at medyo mahaba ang kanyang mensahe pero malaman na at makatotohanan na at pansinin natin ang mula sa kanyang puso at seryoso talaga at ito'y lumalabas na parang napaka-powerful nung araw na yon yung mensahe ni Sen Legarda. Kaya sana seryoso hindi umano ng mga nasa ahensya na nagpapatupad nito. Kaya, at ganun din sa ating mga kababayan, gusto nito na makipagsangguni at makipag-usap mismo sa mga nangangailangan. At nagturo pa kung paano makatipid ng uniforme yung ating mga ahensya na hindi naman kailangan mapamahal. Kaya kasi nga, napatunayan niya, siya mismo ay nakatipid dahil siya ay nagpapatahi lamang di umano doon sa mga barangay na hindi mga sikat na mga designers at yun ay talagang sabi niya kaya dyan tayo napapamahal. Tinuro niya kung paano makatipid sa halagang 500, sa halagang 700, may pang-uniforme ka na Philippine Textile. Kaya panoorin lamang at pakinggan hanggang dulo ng kanyang mensahe na inabot ng ilang minuto at yan ay ilalagay pa rin natin. Alright, so marami ka pang matutumayan at yung interview natin kay Secretary Solidong Jr. at yung iba pa na mga panausin at yung ipapakita rin natin yung mismong nasa loob ng Handong Wedding Center at makikita rin natin yung iba pang na-interview na sa loob na yon at paano nagamitin at maiwasan na ma-fake news tayo or ma-fake kayo sa pagbili ng mga maling tela na inaangkin na ito ay Philippine textiles pero hindi pala. May tips dyan ang PTRI kung ano yun. Dyan ay pinapakita rin natin at meron tayong magagamit na gadget para yan ay malaman natin kung yan talaga ay totoo. At mahalaga pala ang mga istorya mula sa tela. Yun ay hindi basta-basta lamang. Kaya dito marami tayong matutunan at talaga namang dyan lamang po kayo tumupo at mag-like at subscribe sa ating Happy Morning Show. Mag-follow lamang po kayo sa Facebook at doon sa ating YouTube channel. Alright, so tuloy-tuloy lamang sa ating balitang ito mula sa Happy Morning sa SNT News. Ang inyong lingkod, muli, News Horizon Chaser.
How will it change the industry o yung pagdating natin sa pangangalaga, pag-preserve, pagkakaroon ng negosyo, maramdaman ng lahat na nasa grassroots na parte ng industriya itong center na meron tayo?
Ang Handloom Weaving Center, isa sa mga inisyatiba ng DOST System at sa pangunan ng Philippine Textile Research Institute. Gusto talaga namin ay yung agham ay maramdaman. Sa aking kasabihan, agham na ramdam ang ating patutunguhan. Kasi kung may sentro ka, mas madaling mag-coordinate, lalong-lalo yung mga interesado na bagito, pwede silang pumunta at makita kung ano pa yung mga opportunities na pwede nilang makuha out of the Philippine Tropical Fabric at yung pag-weave. At dito natin pinapakita na lahat ay pwede. Kasi meron din tayong mga makina para sa ating persons with disabilities, no? Pang-relax at nakakakuha pa sila ng tela.
Sure nabanggit kaya may mga BJMP personnel tayo, Bucor. Paano magsimula yun? Paano matutunan?
Meron tayong training sa mga babae, kababaihan na nakakulong sa mga skills and syempre, nagbibigay tayo ng livelihood training. Isa na ito sa ating mga ginagawa na kakaiba kasi ito weaving na talaga. Kadalasan meron tayong mga pagkain, baking, meron mga handicraft or arts or even painting. So dito natin pinapakita na ang siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon ay para sa lahat. Hindi eksklusibo, inklusibo. At dito natin mapapakita din na in partnership with the Bureau of Jail and Management and Technology and Bucor na ang role talaga nila ay matransform ang ating mga kababayan na nagkasala. At lahat sila ay may tsansa na magbago at ang isang tulay sa pagbabago ay mabigyan natin sila ng skills na magagamit nila sa loob at pag lumabas sila.
Sir, last lang kami, reaction lang din sir sabi ng Taguig City LG that they're willing to partner with the PTRI para maging model city sila at gumawa ng mga uniform. Ano sunod na rin sa law na paggamit ng Philippine Textile?
Kami po ay natutuwa kasi unang-una, nandito kami sa Taguig. Meron din silang plano ng weaving center at pilot din natin sila sa ating development of smart and sustainable communities, na kung saan yung mga teknolohiya na available sa DOST ay pwedeng magamit ng sino mang local government na gusto makipag-partner sa atin. Ang kagandahan yan ay meron silang proyekto para makatulong sa kanilang mga residente at makapagbigay ng dagdag na trabaho. At lalong-lalo sa advokasya naman ng DOST PTRI na magamit ang Philippine Tropical Fabric sa mga damit ng Pilipino, lalong-lalo na nasa batas yung mga uniforme ng mga taong gobyerno.
Sir, sapat po ba yung pondo ngayon, itong bago nating launching na...
Well, ito ay pasimula pa lang. And syempre, yung funding needed ay depende yan sa dami pa ng mag-engage. Ang importante, maliban doon sa tinatayo nating innovation hubs all around the country, ay meron naman tayong center, no? At marami pang gagawin ng PTRI kasi ang binibuild ng DOST PTRI ecosystem para mas maging maunlad ang ating textile industry. Magmula sa farmers, sa mga weavers, designers, at yung mga mananahi, yung magmamass produce ng ating mga damit.
Sir, per region po ba ng DOST magkakaroon ng hulong?
Hindi naman. Depende kung saan merong Ang prioritization natin ay kung saan meron. Kasi mahirap mo namang ipilit. Kung wala naman talagang ganung kultura sa ibang rehiyon. Hindi lahat ng rehiyon meron. Hindi pa nga kompleto yung mapa ng Pilipinas kung saan may mga tela, di ba? So, ang importante, yung weaving kasi isang parte lang ng innovation ecosystem natin sa textile. Yung iba ay planters, farmers. Yung iba ay yung mga waste products tulad ng saging, ng pinya, ay pwedeng maging sinulid. So, iba-ibang mga grupo, part ng ecosystem, pero yung weaving kasi may culture din sa bawat region. Hindi lahat meron. But they can be part of the overall textile innovation ecosystem.
Sa class na po, ano po yung pwede nating ipanawagan dito sa mga ordinaryong mamamayan, yung itong kahalaga ng Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, ano maibabahagi nila sa
O sa ating po mga kababayan na interesado na matuto ng mga bagong skills at para magkaroon sila ng hanap buhay, meron po tayong Handloom Weaving Center dito sa Taguig, sa DOST PTRI, na pwede silang mag-train. Nabanggit ko kanina sa aking speech na meron tayong pagkipag-ugnayan sa TESDA para ma-certify ang ating mga kababayan so paano mag-weave, no? Ang isa ko pang nakuha sa ating mga designer, kailangan nila ng mga magagaling magtahi, sewers, no? Kulang ang ating mga mananahi. Kailangan natin mas marami pang mananahi. At ito'y trabaho na ready for everyone. Babae, lalaki, bata, matanda. Kailangan lang silang magsanay at magkaroon ng skills.
Thank you po, sir.
One of the engagement points that we have are our natural textile fiber innovation hubs. We make sure that our natural resources are properly valorized and used for the textile industry. And this year, we are setting up other natural fiber innovation hubs in Catanduanes, in Laguna, and in Leyte. And these are all complementary to the different other initiatives that we have on the ground. As a matter of fact, may tatlo pa tayong fibers na aabangan sa taon na ito. Una is the mainstreaming of water hyacinth. This will be, of course, launched as well in a different platform. But just to let you know, natapos na yung technology and we are now ready to make it mainstream as well. Saluyot is also another fiber which is subject of researches in the past, and we are also in the process of mainstreaming it. And lastly is Bakong, a collaboration with the DTI and with the private sector. Ito naman po yung papunta sa ating home textiles and home furnishings. Just during the pandemic, na-perfect po natin kahit papano yung technology ng bamboo. That's why we were able to launch the Bamboo Textiles Page program under the more funny and more interesting name, Kawayan. And this has been one of the newest fibers that we've been developing and have also located strategic bamboo textile fiber innovation hubs across the Philippines. Right now, ang pinakabata po na bamboo hub was the one sa Buena Vista, Agusan del Norte. Ngayon, if we have all of these fibers, anong gagawin natin susunod? We have to make them into yarns. That's why we have also strategically located Regional Yarn Production and Innovation Center through the Department of Science and Technology's Granite AIDS program. Tatlo po yung nagawa from this initiative. One is already operational in Miagao. Will be up and running by August. Invited po kayo ulit lahat. Ito po ay nasa Kabakan, North Cotabato. And we're very lucky kasi yung pang-apat, hindi na siya dependent sa Granite AIDS ng DOST. As a matter of fact, napasok po sa aming GAA because this year we are launching the 4th Regional Yarn Production and Innovation Center in Vintar, Ilocos Norte. Tayo pangkulay. That's why we have an array of natural dyes that we also have mainstream have started using and have also been the subject of the various natural dye hubs across the Philippines. We have located them strategically para po ma-complement yung weaving activities that we have on the ground. Now, kung natatapos doon, hindi pa. Because for those who are not aware, we also have silk in the Philippines because of our Seda Pilipinas program. And the Seda Pilipinas program is part of the silk corridor na tinatawag namin because it stretches from Kalinga all the way to Bukidnon. And now we are very happy and lucky to have regional facilities in Rizal, Kalinga, in of course here in Bicutan. There will be one in there's one in Bago in Talisay, Negros Occidental. Of course, our center in Villanueva, Misamis Oriental. There is another one coming the university there, and hopefully some others in other strategic locations. Most noteworthy will be the one in Benguet. Guys, now comes the assembly of the fabrics. Dito po pumapasok yung ating handloom weaving activities. Thus, our regional handloom weaving hubs are scattered strategically across the Philippines as well, happening there. Kaso, nauna po talaga yung region. Dahil nagkaroon na ng mobilization, nagkaroon to all of these regional activities here in Manila. Thus, the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, which we are launching today. The Philippine Handloom Weaving Center is beyond just a facility. One of which, ito yung pinaka-obvious, is the weaving, training, and technical support, which we are actually already doing through our Textile Academy. Ito po yung training sa basic at saka advanced handloom weaving, even the digital loom designing, even digitizing, etc., etc. So this is part of our of activities as far as skills development is concerned. Natatapos ba doon? Hindi. Because we move to the second function, which is weave design, innovation, and product development. Of course, kasama natin yung traditional patterns, but then there must be a new way of going over these things. Thus, our way of using up-to-date technologies to be able to develop new weaves and to be able to perfect them for specific applications. Actually, ang pinagtatawanan namin po dito is, nakakatawa minsan na yung bag mo, nabili pa na ng isa, yun yung damit niya. O di kaya, yung cobre kama, bigla palang ginamit siyang throw pillow, ginamit din siyang damit. So, there are a lot of things that has to be understood on these textiles para wag natin ipilit yung hindi naman po pwede. Ibig sabihin, if it's meant for clothing, then it is meant for clothing. It has a set of standards. Which leads me to the third, quality assurance or quality assessment and standards development. There are different fabrics that are expected for different applications. Huwag natin silang pagsama-samahin. Kaya yung iba nagtataka, bakit ang tigas-tigas? Kasi po, kubre kama po iyan, hindi naman po yan pangamit. O di kaya, ginamit mo siyang vest, hindi naman parang dyan, pang lampshade naman pala siya. So, these are things by which we have to work closely with our stakeholders as well, because it has gone beyond science. It already goes into consumer behavior and consumerism as a whole. So part din po ng standards na ito is because we are part of the Technical Committee 18 on textiles. By the way, we just have revived this technical committee, and we are happy to also let you know that the first subcommittee under TC18 is the subcommittee on handloom weaving, which will mean that we have a committee looking at the standards and specification for our textiles. The fourth of the functions of this handloom weaving center is weave machine engineering or weaving machine engineering. Hindi lang po tayo gumagawa or nag-weave or nag-design. We even, as a matter of fact, may mga community tayo, makikita niyo po mamaya, ayaw nila yung sinulid na nasa baba. Gusto nila nasa taas. Fine. This is where the engineering comes in. Yung mga implements, things that you need to repair the looms, for example. You'll see later on, I'll not preempt, some of the more advanced ways by which we can actually make shuttles or make implements. The Philippine Handloom Weaving Festival is a takeoff from the Handloom Weaving Conference that we've been holding regularly. The difference of hindi gobyerno or hindi kami ang nagsasalita. Ang nagsasalita are the weavers. We have to listen to them because I think they know better in handloom weaving than we do. We listen to them because they are also the source of further innovations as far as the loom, weaving, etc. etc. And the Philippine Handloom as part of the National Science and Technology Week and National Science and Technology and Innovation Week celebration in Lawag City, Ilocos Norte towards the end of November. Balikan ko lang because I think this is its engagement point to the rest of the other stakeholders. The Philippine Handloom Weaving Innovation Council. There's a bill pending before Congress in the 19th Congress na sinusuportahan po yung innovation sa handloom weaving. And there's a provision there where government must get its act together. And we are very happy to let you know and to report that the Handloom Weaving Innovation Council's Technical Working Group have been religiously meeting in the last 2 years for us to be able to at least come up with an MOU or an engagement strategy for everyone. Kasama po dito, mga kasama natin from the DTI, the DA PhilFIDA, NCIP, the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, our NCCA, IPOPHIL, TESDA is also part of the discussion. And nililigawan namin ngayon ang DILG at DOT to also join the council as well. So, ang dami gagawin ng facility. So what you'll see will just be a simple, small facility, but its function and its expectation is way beyond the number of square meters allotted to it for now. The Philippine Handloom Weaving Center po ay isang pagpupugay sa ating mga hobby. At the center of our innovations on handloom weaving are weavers, mga magsasaka, mga patuloy na nakaugnay ang buhay sa paghahabi. At yung pinag-usapan po natin palagi dito sa Maynila ay hindi lang kwento, ito ang kanilang realidad sa kanilang mga komunidad. Ito ay kasama o bahagi ng kanilang kamalayan, bahagi po ng kanilang kabuhayan, at bahagi ng kanilang kinabukasan. At gaya po ng palagi namin sinasabi, nakikita natin ito maganda sa pamamagitan ng Kathabi, kasi yun po yung ating showcase. Ang Kathabi po ay binubuo ng dalawang salita, Katha at Habi. At sana po sama-sama tayo, samahan niyo po kami, magsama-sama po tayo sa pagpapatuloy ng kwento ng ating malikhaing pagka-Pilipino. Sa pagpapatuloy ng dumadaloy nating kwento bilang mga innovators, mga siyentista ng bayan. At higit sa lahat, sa ating pagsama-sama tungo sa paghabi ng isang matatag, maginhawa at panatag na bagong Pilipinas. Magandang umaga po. Welcome.
This launch indeed bring together creative minds, skilled talents, technical experts. Balungis Women's Association of Tuyan Malapatan sa the message of support from the Undersecretary for Research and Development of the Department of Science and Technology. Let's all welcome Undersecretary Leia J. Buendia.
DOST Secretary, and I congratulate everyone behind the successful launch of the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, an initiative that honors our cultural roots while embracing the future of Filipinnovation. As the central and core facility for the conservation, production, protection, development, and innovation of handloom weaving, the center represents a milestone in our shared mission to uplift and modernize traditional industries through science, technology, and innovation. Through its work, heritage patterns, and developing new yarns, fibers, and materials, the center reaffirms the need in enhancing livelihoods. It also plays a vital role in training, technology transfer and extension, and ensuring that the skills of our weavers are updated. Most importantly, this center is a tribute to the women, men, and children whose hands guide the loom and whose lives are woven into every strand of fabric. It gives voice to the meaning of traditional designs and colorways, translating the rich narratives of our people into products and innovations that are globally competitive, yet deeply Filipino. The Department of Science and Technology, through its research and development initiatives, stands in full support of this effort. We are committed to promoting sustainable textile value chains from the raw materials to the final product by funding collaborations. To our weavers, you are not just artisans, you are the innovators and entrepreneurs. The DOST stands with you. To our partners, thank you for weaving your vision with ours. Congratulations once again on this groundbreaking endeavor. We look forward to witnessing the many threads of success the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center will help weave in the years to come. Magandang umaga po sa ating
Science and Technology, Philippine Textile Research Institute, or the DOST-PTRI, for inviting us to be part of this important milestone for our country. Handloom weaving has been part of our culture for generations. Long before we were colonized, our ancestors practiced handloom weaving not just as a means of livelihood, but as part of their cultural identity and role in the society. The materials used, the technique of weaving, and the patterns applied tell stories that help us identify the origin, values, and traditions of our indigenous communities. Beyond its cultural significance, handloom weaving has also become an essential source of livelihood for many of our people, especially those living in far-flung areas of the country. Indeed, our nation is rich in natural resources which supports not only our basic needs but enables us to sustain this craft. However, the income derived, as many as of our weavers lack the resources to promote their products to their current situation and remote locations. This is why our handloom weavers greatly need the government support and interventions. To address this, the DOST-PTRI has successfully established 24 of the handloom weaving industry flourish and gain recognition both locally and internationally. While the DOST offers exclusive support to communities, several social and economic factors and challenges continue to affect the growth and promotion of our weaving industry. To ensure sustained government support, the DOST requires the collaboration of other government agencies. The Department of Budget and Management recognizes this, the importance of preserving and promoting this heritage industry. That is why, through the General Appropriations Act, the budget allocation for DOST-PTRI has grown significantly from 134 million in fiscal year 2022 to 319 million in fiscal year 2025. This remarkable 35% increase is a testament to the national government's strong support for the Institute's programs and initiatives for the textile sector. Under the leadership of the Secretary Mina F. Pangandaman, the DBM remains committed to supporting efforts that empowers local textile industries, preserve our cultural identity, and uplift the lives of indigenous weavers. With that, allow me to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Secretary Renato U. Solidum Jr. and the entire DOST-PTRI team for the successful launch of the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center and promote our textile.
San Jose Multipurpose Cooperative from Sarat, Ilocos Norte. Habing Maragondon Handloom Woven Products from Maragondon, Cavite. And we would also like to please help me in welcoming Dr. Joselito R. Basilio.
and its partners to preserve the Filipino identity and to support generations of handloom weavers across the archipelago. And that is the establishment of this Philippine Handloom Weaving Center. I personally envision it as a home. Like each one of us, we grew up now because of the home that nurtured us. First, the Philippine handloom weaving industry will serve as a whole. How our ancestors define Filipino culture, in this case through handloom weaving. As you may have heard from historians, heritage conservation advocates, even from economists and scientists, we preserve what is left of the past and what we know about the past for us to have a better understanding of the present and to have a better response to what may happen in the future. We also see this in the handloom weaving sector. Through the materials and the stories that the handloom textiles carry, we get to appreciate the Filipino culture from their perspective. Patterns about gods and deities to show whom they worship or thank for the rich soil or source of water for irrigation, among other blessings. Geometric patterns symbolizing valuables such as diamonds and stars, showing how they pay respect to the caretakers of their ancestral land, to the warriors who fought, those who intend to exploit the land's treasures, and to those who have contributed in the community. And even images of bags or strips resembling bamboo stalks to show what they carry with them or what they see on a daily basis as they hunt or harvest. So from this discovery or rediscovery, we make sense of what the Philippines has been known for and has been rich in, specifically in terms of natural resources. We are a community of agriculture and a home of minerals. From an economic perspective, it is critical that our policymakers craft measures to protect our lands from exploitation, as our development highly depends on the resources that our lands possess. Imagine that story coming only from the handloom textiles that we wear during ceremonies. So second, the center can be a home where after school or after work, we get to share what we have learned in our classes or in our work and see how we apply these learnings for improvement. We are now aware of the importance of preserving the art of handloom weaving. All we need is to maintain the industry. Easier said than done. We have witnessed campaigns encouraging individuals and corporations to buy authentic heirloom fabrics. These campaigns protect not only the integrity of the textile patterns being intellectual creations themselves, but also the economic opportunities for the workers of the industry. By selling or purchasing counterfeits, we did not only compromise our identity, but we have also robbed the handloom weavers of the opportunity to make a living from their duty to preserve our identity. And so we are glad that to address these challenges, the PTRI has been implementing the Digitalization program, where science meets art and heritage conservation. The program contributes to the safeguarding of the intellectual property and economic rights of our weavers through the use of innovation technologies such as covert markings and pattern scanning. We hope that the center will sustain this practice of convening different fields of discipline to preserve the handloom weaving industry. So lastly, the center can be a home where we can give high regard to what we can do to contribute to our community, so that we can now see the historical value of handloom weaving as well as the innovations which can be used to preserve their value. But the handloom weaving textiles do not magically appear. As we implement programs for the handloom weaving sector, we put prime consideration to the people that form this industry, our weavers. It is not enough that we write stories or employ technologies to support our handloom weavers. With the growing use of handloom textiles in our lives, from daily outdoor clothes to graduation attires, it is reasonable to give due recognition to their skills and to the skills required to maintain the industry. And thus, recently, the PTRI has been collaborating with TESDA to implement a handloom weaving NC2 certification program, thereby institutionalizing the handloom weaving as a recognized vocational skill. This initiative will not only professionalize handloom weaving but also accelerate the efforts to preserve the art by inviting handloom weavers or specialists to teach those who are interested in the industry. These are only a few of the many possibilities for the handloom weaving sector, and we might discover the rest of these possibilities as we convene more frequently in venues such as the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center. This is our vision for the center, a home for heritage conservation, innovation, and recognition. Naway magsilbi itong tahanan ng pag-unlad para sa mga hobby at para sa bayan. Maraming salamat po at magandang.
With the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas on the financial literacy education of our handloom weavers. And Dr. Basilio actually mentioned one of our program, the digitalization program. And later on, we will be seeing or hearing much of the output of that result. And we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Senator Loren B. Legarda.
Textile si Senator Loren Legarda. Katabi niya si Director James.
Pinapa-take over ko na sa PTRI. Lahat ng pinutulong.
Alright. So, we want to bring to focus the Salin Hobby. The Salin Hobby is a comprehensive digital platform dedicated to preserving Filipino weaving Salin Hobby. Let us all watch this video.
Good morning po, ma'am. Melody, good morning.
To us, the next speaker, may I call on stage the director of the Philippine Textile Research Institute, Dr. Julius N. Lian.
She is the principal author of Republic Act number 9242, or the Philippine Tropical Fabrics Law, and the principal sponsor and author of Republic Act 11961, or the Cultural Mapping Law. Landmark measures that safeguard our traditions, strengthen industries, and ensure that our cultural wealth is cherished for generations to come. Through her visionary leadership, weaving communities across the country have been supported. She has provided vital assistance to the DOST PTRI and the DA PhilFIDA for the establishment of weaving centers nationwide, spaces where tradition and innovation come together to empower local artisans and preserve our rich textile heritage. She has also brought our indigenous artistry to the world stage, reminding us that our cultural treasures deserve to be celebrated and shared far and wide. Today, as we inaugurate the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, we honor her commitment to a future where progress embraces our roots and where every thread tells a story of resilience, creativity, and pride. Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Senator Loren Legarda.
Aking mga events, gusto ko nakikipagsangguni, nakikipag-usap, alamin ang pangangailangan, kung paano pa ipalawak ang ating advokasya into complete action para mapagbigay ng sustainable livelihood sa iba't ibang komunidad all over the country. But yes, there's a program, so I must deliver a brief message. But I'm once again here in my happy place. I congratulate heart and meat into the law which I authored on my first term. Although in that law, it is the DA Philfida, whose head is always changing every year. I don't know what's wrong with the Philfida. I hope that you stay and work closely with the PTRI because there should not be any competition. In fact, there should be complementarity between the DA and the DOST and in fact Philfida. So I'm happy to be here and to see the work of our artisans from the barangays. And as you know, really lumulusong sa barangay. I go to and we establish weaving centers in the most remote barangays. And you've been there, right? From the boondocks to the remote barangays, maski walang kalsada or walang asphalted or cemented road, meron tayong mga natural dye hubs and weaving centers. So I would want to greet my former colleague, but she's, I guess, coming later, our dear Mayor of Makati, who's supposed to come, my BFF seat, being there for us and making sure that the government funds allocated for PTRI are really used to promote sustainable livelihoods and to promote the use of Philippine natural resources, meaning fibers planted by our farmers in different parts of the country and used for, I hate to call it Philippine fashion, but for everyday wear, because that is the essence of the law that we have authored. Ino is supposed to be here. He's another dear friend who helps us in our advocacy for arts and culture, not as something so elitist or esoteric that cannot be understood or held, but actually on the ground, community-based arts and culture. I will not greet anyone anymore in my long list. Ali Atienza, we welcome you to government. Yes. So today, and I see, of course, Anthony Legarda, one of the early advocates as well. You do, and all the agencies of government, DFA, DOST, Maribel Ongpian is also here, and all our friends. The reason why we're all here in this hall today is because of our shared advocacy for tropical fabrics. Not just for weaves, but the utilization of what is indigenous to the Philippines and to be able to provide livelihood. Yes, we welcome Mayor Lani. I actually greeted you. No need for sorry because we're dead. Yes, I think what you're wearing is piña. That is from our region, but piña can also be planted and you would know best. I think we also have it in Ibaan. Diba? Meron din sa Batangas, but we have piña, of course, in Aklan, my neighboring province, and in Antique as well. Pag makarating dito, sigurado mahal na yan. Pero sa very accessible. O sige. So today, we celebrate the threads that bind our culture, resilience, artistry, and history as Filipinos. As we inaugurate the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, and note that I have a bill, and I refiled it for the handloom weaving industry of the Philippines, hopefully to enact it into law. So it is institutionalized way beyond my term as senator and Julius's term as head of PTRI. Okay, we are going, it says, round of filing a 20th Congress. It's an act providing for the development and protection of the Philippine Handloom. 19th Congress, it was not given special treatment or priority because not everyone really understands. Not everyone supports or recognizes. They might think it's a fashion thing, which definitely is not. That's why I keep on saying this goes beyond fashion or everyday wear. It's really livelihood up to the farmers. That's why when we go, alam na mga staff yan, ng isang araw lang, nandun kami sa Barangay Fragante, sa Pandan, kung saan nagpa-harvest ako ng abaka at binigyan ko ng kapital at equipment sa pag-harvest ng abaka. Tapos, binantayan namin yung processing para binibenta nila ang per kilo na abaka na nagagamit sa iba't ibang gamit, hindi lang sa damit, kundi sa pangbahay din. Kaya importante magbigyan ng halaga ang bawat pinanggagalingan na halaman sa proseso at saka sa gamit. Anyway, so we are not only breathing life into our weaving industry, we also continue to provide a lifeline to our weaving. Bibigyan natin ng pag-asa ang mga komunidad na walang pagod na nagtataguyod sa ating kultura, ang mga kamay na patuloy na humahabi hindi lamang ng tela, kundi ng ating nakaraan at nagiging daan para sa mas maayos na kabuhayan. And I've seen this firsthand since my first term in 1998 from the story of Sami Bule. From the time that he had a problem with PTRI and had to shell out personal funds to pay for the VAT that was being confiscated from his family by this agency of government, perhaps long before your time. And tumakbo sa aming tanggapan at sa maliit na amount na save natin ang pamilya ni Sami, kung hindi nung panahong yun 20 years ago siguro or 10 years ago nagsara na sila. I think I can't remember the exact amount that I had to lend him but actually gave him, so he paid PTRI for the VATs he could not pay for. But it was being confiscated by PTRI. That was, Julius, before your time. Hindi mo gagawin yan kasama Bule. So I know the stories of so many people, even Mario Magsano of Bugtason, who already set up a natural dye hub in the mountains of San Remillo in my province. We know the story of Magdalena Gamayo, of course, in one of our gamabas in Pinili, Ilocos Norte, and many, many more. So every time we hold a piece of hand-woven fabric, whether it's the Inabel from Ilocos, the Tinalak from South Cotabato, the Hablon, or I call it Patajong, from my beloved province of Antique, I don't just see a piece of cloth. Each piece, each hand-woven fabric carries the unspoken stories of our people, and it's true. Yang, kita nyo, pinilian yan. Yan ay sampagita. Ang ibig sabihin yan, yung mga nagahabi, nagahablon, nagaabil, pare-pareho naman yan language lang yung nagkaiba ay mga fresh as a sampagita flower. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng sampagita. Kasi mostly babae. Pero ironically, ang nagtatag at nagpapatupad ng weaving sa Bugtason ay si Mario, lalaki. Pero nakakatuwa kasi kala nila, bulaklak. Hindi. Yung sampagita signifies the freshness of the Antiqueña, the Filipina weaver. And that process, of course, is called pinilian. Ramdam ko ang sakripisyo ng ating mga magsasaka dahil I am confronted with them every day in the barangays of Antique and the barangays in the Cordilleras, the barangays in Mindanao, and all the requests to make use of the plants, whether it's banana, red Spanish pineapple, abaca, and it doesn't have to be clothing. Bariu, buri, and different kinds. Bamboo, rattan. We're such a wealthy nation as long as we utilize it sustainably. So I suggest PTRI, Filfida, Design Center of the Philippines. It's very sila, Ria Matute, invite her sana, as well as CITEM and the Bureau of Domestic Trade of the DTI. I'm sure when all of you are banded together, all of these communities will be helped. So, ang mga magsasaka sa ilalim ng init ng araw, sa gitna ng malakas na ulan, matarik man ang daan tungo sa kabundukan, patuloy silang nagpupursige para makapagtanim, makapag-ani ng materyales ng mga hibla na siyang magiging kwento ng ating mga habi. Ramdam ko rin ang bawat maingat na paggawa ng mga naghahabi. Ang bawat disenyo na bunga ng kanilang mga pangarap, panaginip at imahinasyon. Mga disenyo na sumasalamin sa ating pagkatao at sa ating kultura. Sa lahat naman sa inyo dito, sigurado ako nakapunta na kayo sa pinakaliblib na lugar sa Mindanao o sa Cordillera o sa amin sa Isla ng Panay. At nakakausap nyo at naiintindihan kung yan man ay nakita ko yung gawa sa Abra, may ibig sabihin ang bawat embroidery dyan. At yung pati pa yung crochet sa nila Menchi de Guzman sa Bawang La Union, yung kusikos na suot ng ating kaibigan mula sa DFA, ang binakol at ang sabihin, at para maganda yun maintindihan ng lahat. Importante, lahat ng bumibili sa mga bazaars, sa pop-ups ay may paliwanag, sana may letrato ng kung sinong gumagawa para maintindihan. At Sana lahat ng mga producers din ay mag-veer towards the use of natural dye para yung chemical na dumidikit sa ating katawan, pati na rin yung paggamit ng tela, sana dadami pa ang magtatanim ng bulak o ng cotton para ang polyester na galing sa plastic ay hindi nadidikit sa ating katawan. So I wear Filipino weaves with pride and with humility. And I really don't buy imported. Sorry. So pati mga staff ko, pag binibili silang fast fashion, hindi implement kasi may 7,000 pesos allowance ang Senado. Yan, sa asawa ni Mayor. Please siyasati mo ni Senator Alan, meron 7,000 allowance. Alam nyo, sa 7,000 na yan, okay? 250 pesos ang tropical fabric. Let's say yung kay Chuck Lazaro na private supplier. Sa 5% lang sa batas ko, pwede na eh. May pinya na 5% at iba-iba. Sa 250 pesos, isang metro, isang blouse na yan, o isang top na panglalaki. At pagtahi dito sa Kingsman, mahal pero maganda, 13. Sa amin sa Antique, 500, meron ka ng patahi. So, 750 pesos, may maganda ka ng top. Pag meron ako mga staff na magandang suot mo, sabi, ay online po, ay Lazada, Shopee, ay pumunta sa mall. Naku! Sabi ko, mag-save kayo. Bakit 7,000 ang bili nyo? Pwede naman 750 pesos. Maganda pa. Kaya ako'y sumusuot ng gawang barangay. At pagdating ng SONA, with all due respect to the talented, expensive designers, susuot ako ng gawang barangay para makita. At bumibili din ako sa hand-embroidered sa Lemery, sa mga barangay gulod, at saka sa Taal, sa merkado ng Taal, para mapakita natin na, of course, ang gagaling ng designers, pero yung mga likha sa barangay ay kasing galing din. So, we honor the hands that planted, harvested, and created them. I wear these weaves carrying the dreams, the struggles, and the identity of our people. But wearing our culture literally is just one part of the work. We need to ensure that our weavers and farmers are empowered, supported, and given the opportunity in this fast-paced era of technological advancements where traditions are slowly fading, set aside by modernization and forgotten by many. And I laud the local government of, was it Mountain Province? Yes, that had this local ordinance. I hope that every LGU would do that kasi laganap na ang pagkopya ng kanilang mga disenyo. So I carry in my heart the honor of being a Dangal ng Haraya Patron of Arts and Culture bestowed on me long ago by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, advocating projects and programs that I know will promote our heritage and protect communities that keep our traditions alive and ensuring that future generations will inherit the pride and dignity that come with these traditions. Yes, we authored the Tropical Fabric Law 21 years ago, 2001, actually passed in 2004, which mandates the use of locally made fabrics in government uniforms with the aim of continuously empowering our Filipino weavers and ensuring that mainstream government programs support the development of our local textile industry. So I mentioned already the Philippine Handloom Weaving Industry Development Act. We will refile it to create an agency aimed at empowering weavers and to mainstream government programs to develop the local textile sector. But I will amend this. There's no need for the agency. It will be subsumed under the DOST PTRI. So we've worked closely all these years. PTRI, from your predecessor yet, Tilacelia, Elumba, Filfida with 10 heads before you, Mr. Atienza, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Trade and Industry, TESDA, and our local governments to provide the training, the equipment, the raw materials, the sustainable fiber farming to communities nationwide. In Antique alone, and Julius knows this, and I'd like to invite all of you whenever you want to go, we've established weaving centers in Barangay Bagtason, in Bugasong, which is the Patajong capital of Panay. Even in my hometown of Pandan, which is just 40 minutes away from the Katiklan Airport. and Tibiao, which is an hour away from Pandan. Empowering associations like the Malabor Abaca Piña Weavers and the Tauca, the Tibiao Active Weavers. Very small communities, hindi wala pang farm to market road, konting lubak lang pero nandyan. Maliliit na mga gusali pero tinatag ng PhilFIDA at ng PTRI. At ang bawat galaw nila ay nag-iisip sila yung kikitain nilang ilang daang piso sa araw na yung pagpakain sa kanilang mga pamilya. We've also helped in the establishment of the Miagao Iloilo Weaving Center, Lagindingan, in Misamis Oriental with Senator Nancy Binay, ng Mayor, Sarat Ilocos Norte, Dumingag, Zamboanga del Sur. Magandang bisitahin natin lahat dito. Sa Lake Cebu, South Cotabato. Kayo ba nagtatayo? PTRI or is it PhilFIDA? And National Museum, I think, is also setting up. And even in Banawe, Ifugao. So we've provided countless handlooms, sewing machines, raw materials, equipment, so that production not only continues but expands, improves, and reaches new markets. So we've supported the establishment also because my advocacy goes beyond planting, processing, harvesting, and weaving. Also the use of natural dye. Hindi ba ang ganda? Tingnan mo, ang ganda-ganda ng suot ng sa katawan ni Julius. Iba yung natural. Kung basahin nyo, may epekto yan sa ating mood. At may epekto sa pag-touch sa ating skin. Oo. Kaya yung mga may polyester ako or mga may chemical dye na damit, hanggang kaya, sinishare ko na lang sa iba. Gusto ko talaga cotton at saka natural dye. So, Bukidnon, Madalag Aklan, hindi ko pa nabisita yon. Sablayan, Okmindoro, these were done through the NCCA. As you see, it should be the PTRI, but we also try to empower other agencies of government through the NCCA because they have collaboration with NGOs in the grassroots. And natural dye facilities in Balete, Aklan, kayo ba yun or NCCA? Banawe, Ifugao, and Bansalan, Davao del Sur. I'm not sure if it's NCCA or PTRI. In San Remillo, yes, I've not visited that in our home province of Antique. And Lagindingan, that's through PTRI. So, in our effort to reduce dependence on expensive imported materials, cotton processing centers have been established through my support, through PhilFIDA. Please, after this brief message, may I ask Mr. Atienza to talk, not just talk, to resolve the issues of the cotton processing center where the PhilFIDA imposed the importation of equipment from India. Huwag natin sayangin, nandyan na yan, pero huwag na natin pipilitin yung mga favorite suppliers ng ahensya ng gobyerno at pag may sira, kailangan bumalik pa sa Pilipinas yung mga Indians. Yun ang nangyari sa amin sa Antique. And then the locals are complaining because I think Maribel Ompin knows this because even before the pandemic, when we met in Manila Golf, remember you met with me with the lady from Palawan? Yes, and I've funded over 100 million through PhilFIDA for the planting of cotton. This was before the pandemic, but you can audit it. The fact that we funded that means that those provinces in those barangays, bagay yung lupa sa cotton. Then find out, did they continue it or after binigay yung 100 million, nawala na lang. Hindi naman pwedeng bigay ng bigay taon-taon na 100 million. Sinisita na ako noon ni former Senator Cynthia Villar. Alam mo yan, galit na galit sa ahensya ninyo. Dahil under sa kanya yung budget, sorry, I have to say it like it is. Under sa kanya yung budget, sabi niya, ikaw lang naman ang bigay na bigay, nawawala naman yung pera. Hindi naman siguro nawawala, kailangan lang natin makita yung impact. 100 million, that can go so much for, let's say, DepEd. Kaya nagagalit ang iba, bakit yan sa pagtanim ng cotton na hindi naman nakikita yung output. Kaya tignan po ninyo, kasi magkusa na sila after the first bigay sa kanila. Yun, nag-meeting na po, hindi po to parte ng aking message. Okay. So, hindi parte yan. Kanya ka rin ba? Yes, so, kaya yan yung, ang dami kong kwento eh. Ako, we can go 1 hour here para ako nag-meeting sila. Tapos yung pinili Ilocos Norte. Okay, ko-confession ako dito. Wag magalit ang PhilFIDA sa akin. Ako lang nagde-defend sa inyo. Kasi kung masusunod si Senator Villar, zero ang budget nyo. Totoo yan. Ako naglalagay dyan. Sabi niya, hilig-hilig mo maglagay dyan eh. Nawawala naman eh. In short, walang output. Tama naman siya. Pero, yung pinili Ilocos Norte, kumpisal ko, pinapa-audit ko sa PTRI ang ginawa ng PhilFIDA. Because, ang mayor nagsusumbong sa amin, nakasara ang weaving center. Si Dr. Guanang, tumatawag sa akin, before pandemic pa ito ha. And yung pondo ko na linagay, nandun pa rin. So, after this, maybe it's not like a classroom you will stand up now and tell me the status. It has to be working. 5 years na yung pondo. Sayang naman. PhilFIDA, what's with you guys? PTRI, I asked you to audit. Kaya sabi mo nun, you were reluctant because it's another government agency. No, that's a people's money. So any one of us can audit what they've done. Diba? Here namin. Okay. Haba. Every weaving center built, every training completed. By the way, yan, bosa naman ako. We just completed the training of abaca harvested in Barangay Fragante, Pandan. Sa gitna ng kampanya sa Antique, because I was campaign manager of my brother in Antique, yung barangay captain of Fragante, lapit, sabi niya, para may trabaho mga tao, mag-harvest ng abaca na napakarami sa amin, sa Fragante. So finally, tapos ang tagal, pagkakausapin mo ahensya ng gobyerno, wala po sa GAA 2025. Nagantay pa sila. Amendment ko for GAA 2026, hindi na. Personal na lang. Ako na nagbigay ng training, ako na nagbigay ng equipment, ako na nagbigay lahat. Kasi kung iintayin mo, pag wala sa program ng taon na yon, 1 taon mag-aantay bago i-release yung pondo. Paano naman sila? At masyadong overgrown na or overripe, hinog na yung abaca, I don't know if it's the right word, sayang at tag-ulan na. Pina-harvest ko at pina-training ko na hindi PhilFIDA ang nag-train. Kasi ang sagot palagi, wala. Hindi pwede sa akin ang wala. Kami na po ang gumawa at ngayon, meron na. Silang binibenta per kilo na PhilFIDA. At kung wala, abaca, at kung wala pa rin buyer, ako na rin ang bibili. At ibibigay ko sa Santa Rosario Multipurpose Co-op na nagpa-train ako at may weaving center akong tinayo na gumagawa ng bariw bags na nag-i-innovate, meron na rin abaca. So in short, ginawa ko na po ang trabaho ng PhilFIDA. Pero hindi ko kayang gawin yan sa buong Pilipinas. In-example ko lang na kayang gawin sa 1 linggo. Maski 2 araw. Pag may political will, may konting resources, hindi mahal. Kung tutukan nyo lahat kung saan. Diba? Magtutok ka per region, may isang staff in charge. Tapos lahat na nabigyan o lahat ng available na ready to harvest. Kasi para kang tumitingin ng ginto, may abaca dyan. Hindi hina-harvest. Bakit? They don't know how. Train lang namin ng 2 days. Walang gamit, walang equipment. Bibilhan, ilang libong piso lang yan. Pagka-harvest, walang bibili. Bilhin nyo, akin na, ako na nga. Ang daming bibili. Hindi alam ko anong gagawin. Training kung saan gagawin. Sabi ko yung bariw, lagyan ng abaca, may bag. Di tapos. Na-solve ang problema. Ganyan dapat ang attitude. Diba? Pasensya na po, hindi ko parte ng speech. Nagpipira pag mayor lagi kasi ganyan din siya. Okay, wala na ako sa speech. Sabi ko sa inyo, wag na ako magsalita kasi. Yun. So, yung nakikita natin yan sa mga statwa, sa mannequin. Yung nakikita natin sa the one and only textile gallery in the National Museum, the Hibla ng Lahing Filipino, which we started with Jeremy Barnes and at the time, Dr. Ana Labrador, I think my 2nd term, na nanganak, meron na lahat sa iba't ibang National Museum in the whole country. All of these are finished products. But if you see the story behind every weave, every fiber, nakakabagbag damdamin. Kumikita ng 300 pesos a day or less. At yun ay ikabubuhay nila pambili man lang ng bigas. So, nagkaroon tayo din ng National Arts and Crafts Fair na kasama naman ng DTI na every booth ay mga MSMEs na galing sa mga probinsya. So, the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center is one of your many efforts to address the challenges faced by our weavers, providing our weaving communities with the technology, the designs, and the skills they need. There needs to be convergence among agencies. Sana maliban sa PTRI at sa PhilFida, nandito ang Design Center, Bureau of Domestic Trade, ang NCCA, yes, sila Rene Talavera, at ano pa bang ahensya ng gobyerno. Kung sinong in charge sa DTI ng Shared Services Facilities, DOLE should also be here for the DOLE Kabuhayan. And whoever is in charge of the Barangay Skills and Training Act, I authored that in 2007. I'm sure everyone in this hall do not know there is such a law. That is to provide TESDA training centers kung saan may natural materials for training. So you can have a round table, not just talk but action with all the agencies I mentioned, no matter how small, and the programs, so that hindi lang galing sa pondo nyo, si SSF, ito bagay kay Kabuhayan, ito bagay kay Barangay TESDA Training Center. So convergence across sectors to strengthen our communities and local industries, starting with the harvesting, the production of our raw materials, to the processing, sa cotton, the ginning, the spinning, and to maximize the output. The creation of fibers, for the creation of textiles. Then it's not enough that we create it. Because I'll tell you this, Chuck Lazaro, who's a private sector, nagtsatsaga siya with this textile, has issues again with government. They want to produce, but I am told government is unwilling to buy. So why? We should invite the private sector. Nagtsatsaga sila. Anak siya ni the late Attorney Lolong Lazaro, who was my good friend and my lawyer as well. And buti may nag-i-invest na hindi pa nagsasara. So I don't know if it's a DBM issue. I'll talk to Sec Mina about it. Is it a PTRI or PhilFida issue? And that's the same with who was Alena. The same thing. Private sector, very passionate owners of Alena. Dalawa na silang lumapit sa akin. Actually, marami pa. They have issues with government. We in government must not compete with the private sector. We must encourage them and support them. Pero sabi naman ni Director Julius, wala naman daw problema. Pero siguro pagkaharap kayo, nahihiyang magsabi, pag sa amin nagsasabi. Magagaling naman kayo. Pero alamin natin kung ano yung problema nila. I think it's a procurement act of DBM. They want to sell their list because I see Mayor Lani. Sa 250 pesos, may isang top na applicable to the tropical fabric law. Tapos magpatahi ka sa mura lang, 500 pesos, less than 1,000, meron ng top na jacket. Kung bibili tayo online, libo-libo yan. So perhaps that. I can give you the number of Chuck Lazaro. Wala akong commission dyan, hindi ko, sinasabi ko lang yan kasi gusto mong tulungan. Because sa Senado, sabi ko sa lahat ng staff, huwag kayong bumili mamahalin sa mga mall. Gamitin yung tropical fabric law, yung 7,000 yung a year, gamitin, bumili sa kanya. Saan pa mas mumura sa 200 isang metro? Diba? Yun. Tapos yung patahi sa amin, dahil nagbigay ako ng sewing machines na through SSF sa Antique, maraming nag-aantay na dressmakers, 500 to 1,000 pesos ay meron ng gagawin. Anyway, so mahaba na. Sige. Okay, so we should continue to open the doors of opportunities for learning, for knowledge sharing, for skills development so that we expand our weaving communities and local textile industries as we strengthen a tradition that is a symbol of our national pride. So, salamat po sa inyong pagtsatsaga, sa pakikinig sa akin. I sound like a broken record since 1998, whether it's in a committee hearing or it's in my office or here in events like this. That's why I said, do you really want to invite me to speak? Because part of that will be part of a meeting. So, I know we're on Facebook Live. Yes, many people are watching. Why am I passionate about this? Because this is all about livelihood. Para nga buhian. Ibig sabihin sa amin sa Kinaray, kabuhayan. Hindi to basta, ang ganda, fashion. Bagamat yan ang output, ito talaga ay buhay at kabuhayan ng bawat magsasaka na nagtatanim, na gustong-gustong mag-harvest at mag-proseso. Okay. Gusto ko rin banggitin At imbitahin ko kayong lahat sa pagbubukas ng Hibla Textile Gallery sa Old Capitol Building sa National Museum sa San Jose Antique on July 16. Yan. Ang gaganda ng koleksyon ng Panay Bukidnon at ibang mga suot ko galing sa barangay, sa Tibiao. Mula pa noong 1998 na mga sona ko ay gawang barangay yung textile. Naka-exhibit po doon. Ang nag-curate National Museum. Hindi ko po sa iyo yan. So inimbita ko kayong lahat doon, but you pay for your own airfare. Yes, I will invite you to the museum. So thank you very much for your patience. And thank you for all the hard work you do. Whether you are a local chief executive or in working in the departments of government or heading this agency, don't get me wrong. We are doing our best. We are doing more than the best that we could possibly do. I think what we need to improve on really is to talk to each other, convergence, and really help each other. Maraming salamat po. Isang lumpi ang Pilipinas sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat, Senator Loren Legarda, para sa inyo pong mga mensahe. At syempre po, no, pag nandito si Senator Legarda, napakahalagang alam natin kung ano ang suot natin. Hindi lang who are you wearing, also what are you wearing. Alright. So we would also like to, of course, acknowledge the presence of our handloom weaving partners who are joining us today. We have from Sultan Kudarat, United Inol Weavers Association.
At sa aming lungsod, na maging tahanan ng pangunahing pasilidad sa bansa para sa pangangalaga at pagpapaunlad ng handloom weaving, isang mahalagang bahagi ng ating mayamang kultura at kasaysayan. Lalamanin ng Philippine Handloom Weaving Center ang mga inobasyon ng DOST-PTRI pagdating sa machines, systems and processes, weave designs, product quality assessment, digitalization, training, technology transfer, extension, and new yarns, fibers, and materials. Layunin po ng programang ito na maipakita ang kahalagahan ng mga tradisyonal na disenyo, simbolismo, at kombinasyon ng kulay. Pinatutunayan nito na maaaring pagsamahin ang kultura at makabagong teknolohiya sa pamamagitan ng agham at sining. Higit pa dito sa pamamagitan ng mga skills training at capability building programs, layunin ng center na kilalanin ang handloom weaving bilang isang technical na kasanayan upang makalikha ng panibagong kabuhayan para sa ating mga kababayan at muling buhayin at paunlarin ang lokal na industriya ng tela. Ipinagmamalaki ng lungsod ng Taguig na maging bahagi ng inisyatibong ito. Bilang isang transformative, lively at caring city, naniniwala kami sa inklusibong inobasyon. Mga inobasyong nagbibigay halaga sa ating kultura, nagpapalakas sa kakayahan ng ating mga mamamayan lalo na sa larangan ng paglikha at naghahanda sa mas magandang kinabukasan. This is not actually the first step we have taken with DOST-PTRI. Last year, we entered into a meaningful partnership focused on turning water hyacinths that were once seen as a problem in our waterways into an opportunity. With DOST-PTRI's guidance, more of our local weavers, including our today, Center will serve not only as a technical and cultural landmark, but also as a symbol of what we can achieve when tradition and innovation move towards together. So, on a very personal note, inspired by the speech of our good senator, I would like to renew the commitment of the city government of Taguig with PTRI. So initially, Madam Senator, we've already discussed the possibility of partnering with PTRI so that as I enter my 5th term as mayor of Taguig, that we become a champion of promoting our local fabric by making sure that we follow the national law. Because Taguig is the home of PTRI. So we want PTRI to be proud of the city of Taguig. So after this event, I will, the City Council is represented here today as well, to sit down and discuss the possibility of preparing, already, so that in the next few months, we can start producing uniforms that will support the national law. So yun po yung aming intention. Napakalaking inspirasyon sa amin, Senator, kanina. That's true po, kanina, as I was listening to you, madami ho akong natutunan. And, at the same time, medyo nahiya din ho ako. Because I have to admit, tingin ko I'm not doing much in terms of Philippine textile. Maaaring ako, nakikita, nagsusuot ako, but libo-libo ang mga kawani ng pamahalaang lungsod ng Taguig na gusto ko rin, katulad ko, ay magkaroon po ng malalim na commitment para i-promote ang local fabric. So I acknowledge po the presence of Secretary Salidum. Sir, maraming salamat po sa paanyaya niyo sa amin ngayon. So I end my speech by congratulating the men and women behind the PTRI. Uulitin ko po, nasa inyo po ang aming commitment. Use Taguig po as your model city. Naman po is to deliver on our end para together we can promote yung ating pong mga local weaves in support po of this culture and tradition that is uniquely Filipino. Maraming salamat po at magandang araw sa ating lahat.
Maraming salamat, Mayor Lani. Mamaya po sa center, makikita po natin ang mga natin sila. So, as mentioned by Mayor Lani, PTRI and the City of Taguig has worked together to promote the handloom weaving sector in the City of Taguig. And at this point, we would now
the DOST Philippine Textile Research Institute for the successful launch of the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center. Pero hindi ata sa center. Sa gilid lang. But it's also a center. I am most pleased to note that this central facility is dedicated to all the handloom weavers who have sustained the country's textile heritage and industry, many of whom I have had the pleasure to meet. This is the nexus of the tireless efforts born through countless years, decades even, of the intricate work done by DOST PTRI in going to the weaving communities around the Philippines, listening to their stories, and faithfully channeling through science, technology, and innovation their shared experiences towards preserving and revitalizing handloom weaving as a cherished tradition and as a bulwark. The starting point of the handloom weaving is the weaver, their skills, and their experience, including their history and heritage. They are at the heart of our programs and initiatives. We engage them through looms, yarns, and the market. Now, as we inaugurate the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center, we move closer towards the proverbial fabric of our shared and evolving consciousness. In my very brief time with the weavers like Manlilikha ng Bayan Magdalena Gamayo, who dressed the Ilocos Norte in the textile map, nandun po yung textile map sa kabila. The Mangyan weavers from Mansalay, nandito po ba sila?
Online.
Online. The happy senior citizen weavers of Ibaan, Batangas. I have learned about handloom weaving. Weaving is the interlacing of the stretched out warp yarns that run along the length of the fabric. And the interlaced weft yarns are possible with three basic component motions: shedding, picking, and beating. Each of these steps is equally important to weaving. First motion is the shedding. This is attained by stepping on the pedal or moving the lever and selectively raising some while the other yarns remain, thus creating space. It involves the separation of the warp yarns into distinct layers, allowing space for the interlacing weft yarns. Mas maganda mayroong model si Dr. Julius habang nagde-describe ako. Our textile interventions at DOST intentionally create channels where each one is given space to contribute so that they may have more impact than when doing things alone. I commend the DOST PTRI's leadership for consistently convening the Interagency Technical Working Group on Handloom Weaving in support of the Handloom Weaving Bill that we hope will be refiled in this Congress. This Interagency Technical Working Group has secured the support and active participation of key agencies, including the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Agriculture, National Commission of Indigenous Peoples, Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, and the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. We are actively reaching out to the Department of Tourism and the Department of the Interior and Local Government for their eventual involvement and participation. This ensures that we allow each stakeholder, especially in government, to maximize resources and push for impact in the handloom weaving sector in the shortest possible time. The second motion is peaking. Inserts the weft yarn through the shredded warp yarns, most commonly through a shuttle. The shuttle is our convergence program that carries through yarns of innovations and weaves them through partnerships and relationships in the public and private sectors. For and with the Filipino diaspora, our partnership with the Consulate General in San Francisco and the Hinabi Project, composed of Filipino-American textile enthusiasts, pushes the boundary in cultural diplomacy. The Creatives program of the DOST PTRI also targets vulnerable sectors, such as our recently concluded training and turnover of looms to the Department of Justice Bureau of Corrections, Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong City. PTRI's Textile Academy strategic linkages with partner academic and training institutions like TESDA for the second batch of the National Certificate 2 certification for here next week for 20 weavers from all over the Philippines. DOST PTRI will also be co-offering this coming semester MAT E198 and MSE 297 Textile Material Science and Engineering and Master's Bachelor's Elective of the Material Science and Engineering Program of UP Diliman. We are pleased to note that Textile Academy and Creatives made it back to the National Expenditure Program NEP of DOST PTRI for 2026, and we hope it will still be there in the GAA. Eh, pumalakpak naman kayo taga-PTRI, pasalamatan yung DBM. The third motion, beating, pushes the yarns into the already woven fabric, allowing for the next yarns to be inserted, thus progressing in the weaving cycle. Beating reminds us of a strategic and creative consistency and the necessity of persistent follow-through, of continuous engagement after the initial intervention. The Philippine Handloom Weaving Center connects our partner weavers in the various regional hubs to the central nerve center for weaving, speaking in the language of innovation and science, and anyone coming here in this facility, physically or digitally, connecting them to potential customers and partners, and even directly interacting with them to build not just an innovation ecosystem, but a family of Filipino weavers and innovators. We maintain our innovation hubs across the country as a reminder to our regional textile stakeholders of the crucial role they play in handloom weaving and our evolving textile narrative. On a final note, the DOST, as in PTRI's theme, Weaving Circularity, puts a premium and weaves sustainability and circularity in our programs. Sustainability is not only about the environment or the revival of weaving culture of the arts, but also the need to ensure the sustainability of businesses and these weaving initiatives. These will not only create more value, but also become exponents of social transformation and our growing pride and interest in our products, our heritage, and our shared future. Through the DOST PTRI portfolio of technologies and innovation strategies, Weaving will inevitably breathe new life and interest into our competitive advantage, our natural textile fibers and dyes. Noong una po, nung ako nasa Change Management Committee ng DOST, PTRI was essentially hanging on a thread. So yung thread ngayon kumapal na at naging matibay, damit na. Naging rope na. Talagang kapit na kapit. At yung dyeing industry, talagang dyeing po yun. Ngayon buhay na. Buhay na buhay ang dyeing industry. Salamat sa DOST PTRI. I would also like to take this opportunity to also reveal to you some of the natural textile fibers in a rather new and creative character that we will also present to our students and young learners. Meet Bandala, Pinya, the regal leaf pineapple, Laak, the Flexilad bamboo. Laak, by the way, is the common name of Bambusa philippinensis, bamboo endemic to the Philippines. Musa, the stern crush banana. Lila, the swamp sweetheart water hyacinth. And Seda, the graceful queen Philippine silk. These characters are creative outputs of a student of the Philippine Science High School, Calabarzon, who just completed her 80-hour internship in DOST PTRI on science, communication. As the academic regalia bills hurdled the House in the 19th Congress and was transmitted to the Senate, we hope that it will also again be refiled to enable state colleges and universities to use Philippine weaves in the academic garbs and decorations of the graduates, thus bringing a part of culture in their milestone while breaking through new markets and sustain livelihood for our weavers. This and many of PTRI's other textile initiatives on sustainable material sources, from agricultural byproducts, upcycled plastics and textiles, on quantifying environmental impact through life cycle analysis and impact assessments, on protecting the origins of Philippine textiles through digitalization, digital textile passports and covert technologies, and Industry 4.0 and 5.0 ready loom development and manufacturing, garments and textile product development and design for the circular economy are services and R&D that are part of the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center. We continue to lead the change or the charge in ensuring that Philippine handloom weaving is innovative, sustainable, and culturally sensitive. Our foresight for handloom weaving and the Philippine Handloom Weaving Center transcends the growing interest and patronage that it has received recently. From the area that it occupies now, we also hope that it will be part of the Creative Textile Innovation Center, which will be the cradle of creative textiles and the convergence point of heritage and culture, performance and entrepreneurship with science and innovation. We invite you to help every weaver and farmer, dyer and artist as our inspiration in pushing boundaries, snipping innovation, and in weaving circularity for the handloom weaving industry. Marami pong salamat at mabuhay po muli ang handloom weaving industry. Mga patron, salamat sa PTRI.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Renato. We are very honored to have you join us in this launch. And of course, for your staunch support, not just to DOST PTRI, but for the Philippine handloom weaving industry. At this point, we will be seeing a teaser video of the gathering of the handloom weavers across the world.
A celebration, a cultural revolution. This November, Parade of Weavers, Textile Bazaar, Weave demonstrations, natural dye labs, textile testing, textile consultancy, the Garment Lab, Text Change, Happy Kids Zone, Culture Cultural Showcase, Weaver's Night, and many more. And this is just the beginning.
By Secretary Solidum and also Director Julius earlier. So you will get to tour in the center and see the different. Alright, ngiti po tayo. Representative of the other. Alright, our
parang familiar ko. Sorry po.
Oh, yeah.
Kilala ko siya, di ba?
Si Maki.
Oo nga.
Si Maki.
Sabi na eh, parang ano.
Kinakantsawan ako ni Secretary.
Tapos papasok yung
Naging weavers. Some years they were or in-house weavers. We have a full order.
Ito talaga ang problema natin.
Yes, Arlie, low here,
Yung isang, ilang yarda po yan na ginagawa nyo? Mga gaano katagal matapos?
pagka yung professional weaver, one day
Yung isang ganyang yards. Ay, gano'n. O, kasi hihimayin, di ba po?
From sinulit to...
Anong textile?
Ano to? Cotton.
Cotton. Cotton. Dito yung design.
Ito na po yung pag-kuha ng digital copy.
Digital.
Para picture. Kasi scanner lang po.
Tapos gagayahin na lang nila?
Para yung basis din siya ba? For next step, which is the digitization of the fabric. Yung mode po doon. So, para makakita natin yung details ng warp at weft, para clear, high resolution image po siya. So, kasi gagayahin po yun sa...
Gagayahin na lang. Alright.
So, ito kami yung isa sa picture na. So,
Nasa likod niya ako.
part of our cultural map.
So makikita natin na talagang hindi po ganun kadali yung paghihibla nitong mga tela at talagang dumaan sa napakamasalimuot na pag-aaral. Tama ho ba, ma'am? Gaano po katagal ito ginagawa?
Depende po kung
dami po kalapat at haba yung gusto kong gawin. Pero ito pong for demo lang po is 3 meters. So, ginawa lang po namin po. Or trinest po namin yung glue for 1 day. Tapos ngayon po yung weaving process.
Alright.
So, sa weaving po is may limang steps. Which is yung pag-weaving. First po is yung pag-work. Nagawa niyo po ng
Ito, ganito muna.
Yes po, which is, ito po yung foundation ng weaving. Ito po, ng cloth. So, after nun po is i-weaving po siya sa likod. Saan po may nakaroon yung sa may baba. And then, sunod po niyan is may ipak dito, drawing inyo na po. Which is, ipapasok niyo po siya dito sa headers. And then, after that is the denting. So, dito na po tayo sa ring. And then, after that is the tying. And then, the weaving.
Ma'am, ano to? Iniisa-isa ipasok?
Yes po. Depende po kasi sa pattern na gagawin. So, this one is a twill weave. So, may distinct step po na ginagawa sa pedal.
Alright. So, gaano kalapad ito?
Ito po is, this
pag,
one.
Pag napuno itong ano?
65.
Alright. So, pwede rito yung mga para sa kumot.
Yes po.
Diba? So, ma'am, kumusta? Nag-i-enjoy naman po ang sino mang gustong matuto?
Yes po. Lahat po ng mga na-contact po namin. Mga nagka-contact din po kasi kami ng training, which is the basic handloom weaving para po sa mga zero knowledge na interested po sa weaving, and also those regional or LGU na nagre-request po ng training para po sa livelihood ng kanilang mga members.
Ang kapal, no?
Yes po. This is
talagang anong tela ito?
Yarn, cotton yarn.
Cotton yarn.
Yeah.
Ano yung ginagawa mo? Para saan?
This one po pwede mo kong gamitin to bilang accent sa polo or sa blouse. And then, ito po kasi pwede din siya, medyo makapal, pwede din po yung bottom skirt. Yes po.
Ay, thank you. So, ito yung iba't ibang klaseng design ng cotton na tela. Yung binanggit ni Director Lucas na kung saan ay nagdaan pala sa engineering machine learning at talagang hindi basta. Saan po itong digitalization?
Bali, dito po yung technology na na-develop dito. Ito yung efforts ng PTRI para magkaroon tayo ng authentication mechanism sa natin, sa mga woven fabrics. Or kung sabihin natin na bentahan tayo ng mga products, sir, bilhin niyo po to, this is authentic, Abel from Ilocos. How would you know na authentic siya?
Oo nga. Paano nga malaman?
Malalaman. So,
ang daming naglalabasan ngayon online.
Fake.
Nakakala mo
sa market na hindi talaga totoo. And yung iba minsan to the point na printed na yung fabrics na nakalagay. So we invented this technology. So ang context niya is same sa paper bills or sa pera na meron siyang hidden markers. Pag inilaw natin ng UV light, magkakaroon siya ng ibang kulay. Magkakaroon siya ng different color. Pero kung regular lang yung yan.
Ay, wala. So, ibig sabihin, yung nagkulay, yun ang original.
Yes po.
Ulitin mo po.
Ayan, sige.
So, ulitin natin malinaw.
Without light?
Without light. Ganyan, parang pagkapareho lang, ano?
Pagkapareho lang siya. White lang parehas. Pero pag inilawan mo, green pala tong
green
isa.
Pala.
Kasi ito, wala siyang...
So, ayan yung fake.
Ito yung magiging fake.
Oo.
Kung sakali in the future.
So, dapat pala bumili ng ganyan.
Yes po, ang idea.
Ano yan? Ano yung...
This is UV light.
UV light lang.
Yung mapapansin nyo, same lang siya sa...
kung pupunta ka sa market para sigurado, magdala ka pala dapat ng UV light.
Yes po, pwede ka.
Para kasi minsan sabihin na, original.
Ang idea is magkaroon tayo ng different colors na i-distribute sa different weaving communities all across the Philippines. So, by having different colors, pwede natin i-identify, itong nabili ko is red. Let's say red is assigned to Ilocos. Parang ganun. So, we can have traceability sa mga authentic products ng market natin. At the same time, pwede rin tayo gumawa ng mga tags or QR codes na using this technology. So, pag yung QR code na to will be assigned to each weaver, individual codes for each community, and then pwede silang malink dun sa Linhabi website natin. So, basically, yung website na to is yung collection ng database for all handloom weaving communities all across the Philippines.
So doon na lalaman lahat, nakikita lahat yung klase ng
Yes po.
tela na may colors,
Yes po. At least
kung fake o hindi.
Siya, yung story, yung profile ng weavers, kung sino gumawa, yung story ng patterns nila. At the same time, malalaman din natin yung iba't ibang products din.
Tama yung sinabi ni Sen Legarda kanina na napakahalaga yung may story, yung tela.
Yes, of course.
So pag walang story, fake.
Hindi naman, definitely. Yung weaving goes kasi po to our roots. So, different weave patterns.
Fake news pala.
Different stories din yung...
Fake news nga. May story pa rin, pero fake news.
so, at least kahit pa paano, matitrace natin yung pinaka-roots natin, malalaman natin yung effective na products na bibili natin, and for also responsible consumption ng so, yung income mapupunta sa mga weavers, hindi siya sa mga fake na nag-design online.
Alright, so isang matinding paalala sa ating mga mahilig bumili ng kunwari na Philippine textile daw.
So paalala lang, be responsible. Alamin natin yung kung saan nanggagaling yung mga pinagbibilan natin. Kasi hindi biro ang mag-weave. Hindi siya biro na hobby. And it goes as deep as our cultural traditions.
Alright, thank you. Ma'am, gusto ko to. Walang tawad pang media. Ito. Bibili to ni Kenya. Dito na lang. Pwede nyo naman ipag-size. Size. Bagay na bagay.
Ayan ka kasi.
Diba?
Ang ganda ng design niya kapag. Galaw talaga. Galaw talaga ako.
Siyempre, siya ba naman nag-innovate ng self? Mother ng self. Mother ng self.
Samar. Ayun. Kasi.
Lara. Walang bra.
Sharing
Siyang gumawa eh. 3,000 pesos only.